So usually when you're looking for some ancient wisdom, to manage stress or just the chaos of modern life, you head straight for the classics.
The Stoics?
Right, you've got Marcus Aurelius, maybe Seneca,
Yeah.
you've got that copy of the Meditation somewhere. We just sort of default to Rome and Greece. They're the usual suspects.
And look, Stoicism is a fantastic operating system. It's incredibly effective, absolutely. It's the established path.
Yeah.
But today, we're going to ask you to turn the clock back, not just a few centuries, but 2 full millennia before Stoicism was even an idea.
Okay, so where are we going?
We're traveling to the Nile River Valley to explore an ancient wisdom that feels, well, shockingly relevant today.
We're talking about the Sebahet. This is the ancient Egyptian genre of wisdom literature, and the name itself literally translates to instructions.
Right.
Now, when you hear ancient Egyptian texts, you probably think of, I don't know, spells, curses, religious stuff.
Sure, the Book of the Dead.
Exactly. But what we found in these documents, and some of them are argued to be the oldest books in the world, is something completely different. They were basically detailed how-to guides.
How-to guides for what, though?
For achieving success, calmness, and just virtuous living.
And what's really profound is that the problems they were trying to solve are identical to the anxieties we deal with now in 2024.
Like what?
I mean, they're offering solutions for the overbearing boss, the friend who gossips, how to act in a high-stakes meeting, and that internal noise that keeps you up at 3 in the morning.
Wow.
It's a foundational text for emotional regulation. It almost reads like a precursor to modern cognitive behavioral therapy.
So what was their framework for self-mastery then? If they predate the Stoics by so long, what was their central mission?
Their mission was simple, but absolute, to give you the tools to manage both internal and external chaos. And to do that, they built this powerful framework around 2 competing human archetypes.
Okay, so let's unpack this philosophical clash. We're going to find out why the greatest threat to a successful Egyptian wasn't, say, a famine or an army, but a person they called the heated man, and what that tells us about the power of the silent man.
This concept of heat is the central conflict running through texts like the instruction of Amenembi. The Egyptians saw human experience as being divided between these 2 states.
And we instantly recognize the heated man. I mean, this is the person whose reaction is just instant, volatile, overwhelming.
Yeah, you see it online every day.
Oh, absolutely. It's the person going viral for a meltdown in a grocery store or screaming into their phone at customer service. Their whole life is just unnecessary friction.
And crucially, the Egyptians saw this heat not just as poor emotional control or, bad manners. They saw it as a genuine spiritual failure.
A spiritual failure. That's a strong term.
It is. To be heated meant you were completely out of control. Your internal fire was literally consuming your own resources, creating friction against the world, and disrupting harmony.
And think about that friction. You get even a tiny bit of criticism from your boss.
Yeah.
And the heated man has to defend himself immediately.
Right.
He feels that spike of adrenaline, his heart rate jumps, he starts sweating, he just short circuits. He takes that external thing and turns it into internal chaos.
And ruins his own day. Even if the critique was, in the end, tiny, the heat is totally disproportionate to the event.
That's the key, isn't it? That disproportionate reaction is wasted energy. And that wasted energy, that friction, is what separates the heated man from their ideal.
The silent man.
We should probably clarify what silence means here. It doesn't mean being passive or never speaking up, does it?
No, not at all. It means being composed. It means stillness at your core, like a great engine that runs quietly and efficiently.
So how do they make that idea real for people? It's a bit abstract, that internal stillness. Did they have a metaphor?
They absolutely did. Think of the silent man as being like the Nile River. During its steady, beneficial season, it's powerful and deep. It provides life, food, fertility, but it's contained within its banks.
Right, it's not destructively overflowing and causing chaos everywhere. It's power that's channeled, not power that's just exploding.
That's it, exactly. And that deep, steady containment of internal energy is precisely what the Stoics would later call apatheia.
Which again doesn't mean apathy. It means freedom from those overwhelming destructive passions. They still exist, but they don't run the show.
Right. And here's where this ancient wisdom gets incredibly practical. The instruction of Pahotep, that ancient text, gives us this beautiful, simple instruction to achieve that.
What does it say?
The sage instructs, if you meet a disputant in his heat, fold your arms and bend your back.
Fold your arms. That's so simple. It's such a perfect piece of instruction.
It is, isn't it? It's a physical action that shows you're choosing not to participate in someone else's chaos.
It's like an external sign of that internal stillness. You're physically saying, I am not enrolling in this argument. I will not absorb your heat.
And that decision, that physical pause, is the ultimate stress relief tool. Because it reminds you, you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to.
You decide where your energy goes.
You decide.
So that moment of choice, that pause, is what lets you stay in alignment. But alignment with what? That brings us to the foundational principle behind all of this, right? Maat.
Maat, yes. It's maybe the most critical concept in all of Egyptian philosophy. You see it everywhere in their art, usually as a goddess with an ostrich feather on her head.
Right.
But it's so much more complex than just a single deity.
So what is it? Maat is this holistic concept that covers truth, balance, order, and justice all rolled into one.
And for the Egyptians, this wasn't just some moral code from the gods. It was the fundamental rhythm, the geometry of the entire universe.
And that's a huge difference from Greek and Roman thought.
Yeah.
The Stoics had the logos, this rational, almost cold order to the universe.
Exactly. But the Egyptians saw the universe as music, a rhythm, a pattern.
So if you lie, or you're greedy, or you let your stress, your heat control you, you are literally stepping off the beat.
You're creating friction. You're pushing against the cosmic pattern. And this reframes the whole idea of, being a better person.
How so?
Well, today we often see being moral or working on ourselves as a chore. It takes effort. It's a sacrifice. The Egyptians saw alignment with Maat as just efficiency.
Efficiency. I love that word for it.
Yeah.
It's not about being a saint. It's about not making your own life harder than it needs to be.
Exactly. If you're in Maat, your life flows. You're moving with the current. There's minimal resistance. If you're out of alignment, you're constantly fighting, rowing upstream, burning energy for no good reason.
And that unnecessary friction, that disorder, that has a name too, doesn't it?
It does. It's called Isfet. Isfet is the chaos that's always trying to invade every part of your life, inside and out.
So I'm curious about the mechanism. How did a regular Egyptian check for this Isfet? How did they know if they had stepped off the beat that day?
They give us a living metaphor to audit this daily, the weight of the heart.
Okay, we've all seen the pictures of the weighing of the heart in the afterlife, where it's judged against the feather of Maat.
Right, but the sages taught this as a practical, living exercise for you to do every single day.
So every evening, you should ask yourself this simple question. Is my heart heavy?
Exactly. A heavy heart isn't just sadness, though that can be part of it. It is the clearest symptom that you're out of alignment. It means you are carrying the psychological weight of disorder, the Isfet, that you either caused or absorbed that day.
Think of it like emotional debt.
That's a great way to put it. Your heart being heavy doesn't mean you've been bad, but it does mean you've been inefficient. You did something that created unnecessary friction. So you don't just sit with the feeling, you use it as a diagnostic tool.
So that heavy feeling tells you what you need to correct to restore your balance with Maat tomorrow.
Precisely. You look for the specific disorderly thing. Did I treat someone unfairly? Did I give in to the heat in an argument? Did I overconsume something? The goal isn't guilt. It's identifying the source of the weight so you don't carry it forward.
Let's connect this to modern social stress, because a huge amount of our anxiety today comes from social climbing, careers, that feeling of imposter syndrome. And Tahotep offers incredibly specific advice on social intelligence that speaks directly to this.
He wrote a lot about the etiquette of presence. For example, how should you behave when you're a guest or in a meeting with someone greater than you, more powerful, more senior?
And his instruction is what?
It's remarkably simple but deep, he says. Take what he gives as it is set before you. Look at what is before you. Do not pierce him with many stares.
On the surface, that sounds like basic table manners. Don't be greedy.
It is, but the deeper meaning is about presence. Overcoming that internal grasping. Do not pierce him with many stares means don't constantly look past the person you're with or past the opportunity right in front of you because you're already searching for the next best thing.
Angling for the promotion you haven't earned yet.
Exactly. It's advice against comparison and envy. The Egyptians believed that greed for more was a literal disease that consumed you because it always places you outside the present moment.
And they had a name for this. The unprofitable sickness.
Yes.
It's a fantastic term. But why unprofitable? Isn't that just a fancy way of saying greed?
That's a crucial distinction. It's unprofitable because it is fundamentally bad business for your soul.
Okay.
The sages knew that when you invest your time and emotional energy in envy or comparison, the return is zero or negative. The investment only gives you anxiety and a heavier heart. It's the highest form of Isfet you can create inside yourself.
You gain nothing but friction.
Nothing. So the goal isn't just to be morally good, it's to be psychologically efficient, and they taught that through communication too.
How so?
Well, to combat all that noise and gossip, Tahotep gives this stunning instruction on how to become a trusted pillar in your community. He advises that you must listen deeply until the other person has poured out their heart.
And this is where it gets really transformative. He says that even if you can't grant the request, the act of deep, quiet listening, providing that composed, silent man presence, is often the actual healing they wanted.
They wanted the space. They wanted to release their own Isfet into a safe container.
I mean, think about that superpower in the modern world. In a culture saturated with noise and shouting, the person who truly listens
And remains composed.
becomes the trusted silent man or silent woman. That person becomes a magnet for real connection, not because they're the loudest, but because they are the quietest and most aligned.
As we wrap this up, the synthesis here seems pretty clear. For the Egyptians, self-improvement isn't a hobby, is it?
No, it's not a weekend thing you pick up and drop. It's a fundamental duty to the cosmos.
That scale of duty is what makes the Sebahet so profound. It implies your small internal actions have universal consequences.
So by being calm, by choosing to be composed in your own little corner of the world, you are actively holding back the Isfet, the chaos, from the borders of civilization.
You're doing your part to keep the universal rhythm going.
So tomorrow, when you feel that internal heat rising in your chest, that stress, that urge to react, to defend yourself, remember the instruction. Remember the Sebahet.
Fold your arms. Bend your back. Choose the silent, composed path. Let the chaos of the other person or the unprofitable sickness exhaust itself while you maintain your own rhythm.
The ultimate goal, the daily measurement, is for your heart to be light as a feather. And not because life is suddenly perfect or easy,
No.
but because you refuse to absorb or carry the weight of what doesn't belong to you.
So what does this ancient path look like in your busy life? How do you actually practice this? We're going to leave you with 2 specific actionable steps. A daily Maat practice.
First, the morning check. The Egyptians understood the power of setting an intention. So before you look at your phone, before you let in the noise of the day, take 1 minute. Just declare, today, I will be the silent person.
You're setting the intention for internal composition before the external chaos even begins.
And second, the evening weighing. Before you sleep, do that philosophical audit. Ask yourself, is my heart heavy?
And if the answer is yes, you have to identify one specific disorderly thing you did, one piece of Isfet you created or absorbed, and then just plan to correct or release that weight tomorrow. This is how you restore the balance of Maat, day by day.
The path to Maat is always open. Stay silent in the storm, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.